Hey folks, Misha here. Today, I want to show off a couple of strategies that I've been personally using to clear the Pillar, Crystal, 9 Jumpy Line Room, or whatever you want to call it, here in The Legend of Pirates Online. First, I do know it is possible to loot this room exclusively with grenades or a broadsword if you are feeling risky. The point of this video is efficiency, which means killing all 9 of the Jumbies as quickly as possible. So if you are not looking to clear the room as quickly as possible, this video is probably not for you. Just a heads up. Alright, with that out of the way, before we begin, I do want to mention that the methods I'm going to be showing off primarily utilize the recent changes and revamps to the Voodoo Staff skills, as well as some of the potions that have been recently added into the game. More on that in the next video. For now, however, let's get into the thick of it and show off 2 of the methods I utilize in order to efficiently clear the entirety of the Pillar Room in Crystal Caverns. The first method of clearing the Pillar Room is my less frequented of the 2. This method requires at least 1 or 2 other players to act in coordination with you, whether it be over Discord call or otherwise. For this method, you'll want to obtain one of the following staves that I'll be showing you on screen now. Your first option is the Demon Skull Staff, obtained from April May in the Gypsy Cart in Hallowed Woods. Released this year with Hallowed Woods, this staff is generally crowned as the all-around best staff with a high attack, great selection of skill boosts, and a dark aura to top it all off. The reason this weapon is at the bottom of the 3 is due to the lack of a Flaming Skull boost. However, this staff can still be used in either of the 2 methods of looting this area that I'll be showing, so it is still a generally good all-around tool to have. That being said, this staff will run you down 800 large bones and 60 haunted, so if you're saving your stocks for the legendary, this might feel a little bad. The second weapon for this method of clearing the room can also be found in April May's weapon stock. Called the Corpse Staff, while missing the overall boost and attack power of the previously mentioned DSS, the staff trades all the fancy gimmicks for a solid set of boosts, both of which benefit players trying this method. While lacking a Dark Aura for the additional attack boost, this weapon has a +3 to Flaming Skull and a +2 to Spirit Mastery. The staff is cheaper than the Demon Skull, and it will only run you 150 small, 250 large, and 40 haunted, as opposed to the slightly more expensive listed previously. Finally, the last of the 3 weapons effective in this method of clearing the room is named the Dark Omen, and can only be found in Hallowed Woods loot during the event. This staff is not available for purchase from April May, so please don't go looking for it there. This staff boasts a high attack of 45, as well as a +3 to Flaming Skull. This weapon is a great on-par substitute to the Corpse Staff if you find this first, and it has Dark Curse, which is a break attack. So, while it can be useful for the damage mitigation versus the 9 level 50 enemies you'll be fighting, I generally do not recommend that you rely on it as much as you might think, as the break attack will probably be charged by the time you are dead and or dying. Oh, and one more thing before I let you all see this method in action. If you and your friend, or alternate account, are both using Corpse Staff or Dark Omen, you should reasonably one-shot most opponents in the room until level 52. If you do not want to deal with the stragglers, then I would recommend brewing up a tier 2 Pantano Silver Spirit potion in order to wipe them out more efficiently. Yes, I am sorry, potions are involved. So, now that you all have a general idea of what weapons are required in order to effectively loot using this method, and you probably hate me for mentioning potions, here's a quick time-lapse of myself and my best friend and fellow guildmaster giving this method a shot to clear house to show you all just what this can do. Right. With my less preferred of the two methods done and out of the way, here is my first, as it is a little bit more brain dead and allows me to multitask looting while doing other things, like watching Netflix. Here are the following weapons you'll want to pick up if you're adamant about doing this strategy. First, as none of you will probably be surprised, here is the Demon Skull Staff again. Like I said before, this weapon is definitely king of the hill when it comes to consistency and will generally serve you better if you do not plan to loot this area terribly often. I'm not going to run over it again, so let's move on to the number 2 spot. On to number 2, Staff of Shrunken Heads is a loot-only Hollowed Woods exclusive weapon, so likelihood being you'll probably be running the Demon Skull until you manage to pick this one up. While lacking the immunity, attack, or versatility of the DSS, this staff does gain a unique new perk and a boost to make it infinitely more specialized in this style of room clear. Possessing Dark Aura and a Desolation boost, the only reason that this doesn't sit at the number 1 slot is due to a very special exception that I'll be showing here soon. Desolation Resistance is a perk that was unreleased in Potco and has made its way and is functioning here in TLOPO. What DSS does not have in its list of perks is a safety switch, and the defensive capabilities of not losing so much health versus so many high-level opponents has definitely saved me once or twice before in recent memory, so I would not underestimate this staff in the slightest. Finally, and to anybody who's been paying attention to this most recent Hollowed Woods event, the king of the slot here in number 1 for the solo pillar room clear on your lonesome is the Staff of the Hallowed Gem. Now, I know this is the legendary, hear me out. Not only is it the highest attack of any staff in the game at the time of this recording, this thing is loaded with skill boosts across the board. Beating out Demon Skull in sheer damage, this thing has Spirit Lore and Mastery boosts, as well as Desolation boost and Resistance, on top of a pretty solid weapon-exclusive Jumpy Fire ability. I do want to be clear and say that I am aware that it's not particularly fair to claim the obvious best choice as the number 1 for this, but it does hit all the right buttons, and I mean, be honest, this weapon card looks like a freaking grocery list. Anyhow, with that out of the way, I'm going to give some more unfortunate news about this method. So, you are going to have to sit down at a potion table and brew some potions. More specifically, Pantano Silver Spirit potions. They're going to be what you need in order to wipe this room in a single shot, so don't kill me yet. The lower level of potion that you create, the higher level of enemy that'll remain after a Desolation cast. It's generally in your better interest to do the highest tier and to utilize the 30-minute duration as opposed to just making the lower ones, even if they are easier. So, before I let you all go and watch this little time lapse of me proving this works, I would like to let you all know how to do this effectively. So, when you enter into the pillar room, you're going to wedge yourself between the minecart and the ore on the ground, and from there you'll face the Jumpy in between those 2 piles on the opposite side of you. From there, cast your Desolation facing that wall, and you should hit all 9 enemies in the room. Most likely killing all 9 if you've followed in the video thus far. I'm going to take it that you've reached the end of the video and you are compliant with doing potions, because otherwise I assume you're marching to my door right about now. Otherwise, thank you all for watching. Please leave me your feedback and how you personally prefer to clear this room, and leave me anything that I might have missed. Alright, until next time, folks.